Welcome to the Awakening Women podcast. I'm your host, Leanne Oaten, and for almost a decade, I have been a transformation coach and therapist. This podcast is all about lifting the veil of consciousness and awakening to the truth. It is also about helping you to raise the bar in all areas of your life and relationships by starting with you. If you're ready to take back your personal power and reclaim your life, you have come to the right place. I'm so glad that you're here, so let's get started with today's episode. Let's talk about all or nothing thinking and how this can lead you to nowhere fast. Before we do that, I want to point you toward my brand new masterclass, Breaking the Toxic Bond of Narcissistic Power and Control. You can access that at the link in the show notes or on my website at NARCISSISTIC.com. So this all or nothing thinking is something that happens with those who tend toward depression. You tend toward maybe even perfectionism, and you tend toward getting into this cycle of procrastination where you're not doing anything because you see everything in black and white. Like there's no in between, there's no gray area. And you see things as just very cut and dried, and it's either this or that. And this can really hinder us to not be able to create change because we are stuck in until I'm ready to do X, then I can't do anything. And so when you're talking about it in regards to being in a relationship that is not working, you might just be doing nothing. You're in survival mode. You're doing the same things over and over and over again that aren't working. And you think that because you're not ready to actually take the full leap toward leaving, that there's nothing you need to be doing right now. You're just going to wait around and, we'll see. Let's see what happens. We'll wait for some kind of sign or something to rain down that gives you this clarity that you need. And oftentimes that's not how it happens. We actually have to act our way to getting clarity. And so instead of looking at your situation like, until I get to X, then I can't do anything, then I challenge you to actually look at it as, all right, I'm not at that place yet, so what can I do in the meantime? And I encourage you to go back and listen to the episode before this because I build on what are some of those things. And it always comes back to, what do I need to do? What do I need to focus on within me? Because the relationship issues that we have or don't have are a reflection of work that we might need to do within ourselves. It's not actually about them. That's a huge piece of the work. It's not actually about them. It's work that we need to do within ourselves. And so when you're distracted and you're wrapped up in them and what they're doing, what they're not doing, you're sending me emails asking if I have a referral that you could send him to. You are looking for answers for them. You are researching for them. You are trying to change yourself for them and for the relationship, rather than what do I need to do to become whole within myself right now so that this situation it just becomes something that is not aligned anymore. Like you will get to a place where you literally could not and cannot tolerate another day of it. And until you're there, you're not ready. You have to get to the absolute. I think it was Elizabeth Gilbert that said that she's never seen anyone change that didn't first have to become sick and tired of their own bullshit. And that's true. You have to get sick of your own. You have to get sick of theirs. You have to get sick of the same day being lived every day over and over and over and over again, nothing changing. You have to get to that place. And until you do, you're going to keep spinning in doing nothing, feeling one day like you're ready to leave and you start Googling places to live or you start looking into it, and then suddenly they flip a switch and they're being nice and wonderful and you're like, oh, this is what it is. This is what feels good. This is the person that I married. This is the person that I want to be with. And then you kind of like push aside those feelings for a little while, and then they do come right back up again. It's just like when you try to hold something under the water that is full of air, like a beach ball, it's going to keep coming up. no matter how much you try to divert from it or go back into la la land or start going into fantasy thinking that, oh, maybe this time, has it ever led to anywhere good to be thinking, oh, maybe this time? And how many years have you been saying maybe this time? So I encourage you to start looking at your all or nothing thinking. Where are you seeing things as in black and white? And is it stopping you from taking necessary steps to move yourself forward, whatever those are? What can you do in the meantime? And again, that's exactly what I walk you through in my program and the cycle. But if you're not familiar with my program, maybe you're new here and you're interested in joining the program, what I have everybody do is go through my class first, my free class, because that really sets the foundation for the work that you would be doing in the program. And when you sign up for the program through my class, you get special pricing that's not available publicly on my website, on my Instagram links, or anything. You have to actually go through that class first to get that limited time special pricing. So if you're new and you have not looked into that, please go to the link in the show notes or my website to get access to that class. So just remember that the program pricing on my website is my regular pricing. If you are wanting to get that special pricing, head to the class and take that class first, because that's also going to help you to decide, is this for me? Am I in the right place for this? So that's what I'll have you do if you are in that space of, I don't know what to do from here. And this black and white thinking can really keep us stuck because there's this place that we can get to where we realize that I don't want this anymore, but I don't know what that looks like. Like, I don't know what that next is, right? I don't know where to go from here. It's a very uncomfortable place of, in the meantime, like, I know I don't want this anymore, but everything else just feels so confusing and I don't even have any ground to stand on. And so you stay thinking, well, I've just got to stay and I got to keep waiting. Well, no, there's a lot you can be doing. It's not passive. Definitely. You have to be actively involved in your own process. And it can take some time, and that's okay. If you have time and you're not in any immediate danger, this is better to be doing this now than to be waiting and hoping and praying things are going to change just magically on their own. Why not take this time that you'd be waiting around anyways, or wasting your time and money doing other things that don't work, and start applying that energy into things that will actually create change? You're going to be spending the time anyways in the next 3 months, 6 months, year, regardless. So why not spend it actually actively doing things to make yourself better, to make your life better in the meantime? And again, the episode prior to this, I dive into that, how to do that on a holistic level. So pay attention to your black and white thinking, your tendencies to see things in all or nothing, your tendency to think, I can't do anything until I'm 100% ready. That is not how it works. That is backwards thinking. That keeps you stuck in the dark hole of despair because you think, I have to be in a certain place to be able to take steps to feel better, to change my life. Like, there's nothing I can do to start feeling better now. I'm trapped. I'm trauma bonded. I'm stuck. I'm fucked, whatever. That's going to make you sick. That's going to make you depressed. It's going to destroy every area of your life. And you're not going to be able to cope in that mindset. So that's where it comes back to, we have to change our thinking. We have to change how we're thinking about our situation and ourselves. And it starts with breaking those patterns. And I talk more about this in the free class. So I don't need to keep going on about that. If this is resonating with you and you're feeling this way, you're feeling this stuckness or this frozen space where you don't know what to do, so you're doing nothing, run to that class. It's about an hour long. And take that time for yourself. Take that first step of taking some action today and make it taking that class. That's my challenge for you today. And sit somewhere quiet with a notepad and take that time for yourself. All right, so that wraps up this episode. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll chat with you again in the next edition. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode. I hope that this has inspired you to take some new empowered action toward your evolution and transformation. If you benefit from this show, I have an ask. Please head into the iTunes app and leave a 5-star rating and written review. For ways to work with me and my current program offerings to help you end the cycle of toxic love relationships, head to the show notes of this episode or visit my website at NARCISSISTIC.com. Also, be sure to follow Awakening Women Support over on Facebook and Instagram. I'll see you online. Bye for now.